this video is going to be too long. I'm not going to be sending it to my editor. Cue all the comments telling me my editing is terrible. I know it's why I pay someone to do it for me, and I don't have the mental energy to talk about the subject matter for too long. But I want to quickly talk about how David Dobrik's apology is bad, because it seems like a lot of you sensational little sausages are really into it, praising him, telling him that he's the bee's little knees, when you really missed the entire picture. You see, one of the most important things was made public before David put up his video, which was something that, despite him saying otherwise, something multiple people worked on. People praising him for being real and it being from the heart and so much better than his other one, because clearly this was David just being David. She's just being Miley, when nope, not the case at all. You want to know how I know that's not the case? Because David felt a need to point it out himself. Had David not praised himself for being so real and raw and not following the supposed advice of his manager and PR people, no one would be saying, wow, he's just being vulnerable here. By the way, no manager or PR person would tell him not to talk about this. They would be looking at his last disaster of response and be like, no, you need to sit down by yourself in a setting that looks casual and do what he did. This was so PR it hurt. He talked about that so that people watching would think, oh my God, he's making a sacrifice, doing something exceptionally risky, which would make him a martyr in this situation, when no, everyone would tell him to do this. He is so carefully placing himself on that pedestal at the beginning of his video because he is what? So wealthy that in the time he filmed his first apology let's talk video, where he says, LOL, wasn't me, so it doesn't matter, he most likely fired and then hired an entirely new team to help him save his career, like you would if you lost billions of dollars in ad revenue. People are praising David for explicitly saying that what he did was wrong, that he didn't know about the situation and he should have, and he's so sorry. People are saying David is taking responsibility for his actions and addressing everything in a way that validates both the victims and holds himself accountable. However, David, Mr. Dobrik, doesn't address the fact that the night that this occurred, we have literal photographic evidence of Hannah being held up after the fact, of not being able to walk, with David right there seeing it. We have photographic proof that the night this occurred, David and the rest of the vlog squad would have known what happened there was non-consensual, seeing as Hannah literally couldn't move on her own. Remember when that video came out of Jeffree Star harassing a guy after saying, oh, we had sex and now he's puking all over the toilet and he can't even move, and how everyone was incensed? We have proof of him looking at her after doing the same thing, being held up by her friends. It's not okay. David was there. He saw the state she was in and he was okay with it. So much so, he put it in the vlog and continued to platform Dom and thought it wasn't a big deal. He even made a joke out of it. David saw the state she was in and thought nothing of his friend, his good longtime friend, taking advantage of a girl who was so drunk she got sick in front of him. She was taken advantage of and needed to be walked home, and he still thought it was fun. He still thought it was casual. We have physical proof that every man there would have known what happened in there was not okay, seeing as she couldn't walk out of the room by herself, and they still thought it was just funny and fun and lighthearted. Hell, even at that time, David said Dom had to negotiate this girl to be intimate with him, and he said that it was like a fun little conquest, like a little choose your own adventure book, which is not a totally normal and rational thing to do. David knew his friend Dom had relations with Hannah after she had gotten sick. He saw her being held up and needed to be escorted out by her friends. He saw the state she was in, and despite her not being able to walk herself home, he thought somehow she was able to say yes. Really? He's not a spring chicken in the video. He's not a fucking newborn baby. People making excuses saying he didn't know any better. Yes, he did. We've all known better. This is like the number one thing you learn. Everyone knows better than this. A lot of people are saying that David couldn't have known. David didn't know until at least 3 years ago, when she reached out to him and told him and asked Dom to take the video down, which that alone is terrible because, oh, you knew about this 3 years ago and you didn't do anything to remedy it. But okay, that alone is terrible. But we have physical photographic evidence that literally everyone who was there the night of knew, and they still chose to put the video up. Him taking responsibility should mean him addressing why he thought a girl who couldn't hold her own own hair back while she puked and needed to be held up to stand, to walk home, was able to consent. He needs to address that. Him taking responsibility should mean making donations to charities for victims of sexual assault with his millions of dollars that no doubt will last everyone multiple lifetimes. If he paid for my life, my dad, like anyone's life, is set with the money he already had. Him taking responsibility doesn't mean saying you simply didn't know because you were ignorant and have only been educated that what happened there was wrong once you lose all your sponsors. Everyone noticed that? He's only wrong, and this is only enough for him to cry when he's lost all of his sponsors. He gave the bare fucking minimum because of that, and all the comments on his videos are saying you did a great job and that he should be proud. Y'all, shut up with that. Shut up. As someone who's been assaulted, his apology, his whatever this was, doesn't validate anything. And as someone who knows more is going to come out sooner or later, let me just say, y'all are about to look goofy as heck. Also, anyone who says that this is cancel culture going too far and this is so terrible, you realize he can buy and sell you, right? You realize he's going to be fine. Cancel culture can't really touch him when he has enough money to walk and make a house on the moon. I don't know why I included walk in there. I'm just frustrated. He doesn't need you to defend him though. He has enough wealth to buy his own literal army. Stop it, you goofsters. Okay, end of video. Can't wait to be yelled at by people who tell me that he's amazing and we should all just stop and praise the guy with a fruit punch water fountain as if that's fucking revolutionary. I'm done. Bye.